Dark forest, year 55, AR. The trees did not sway, not in the dark forest. Even when the wind howled through the ancient trunks and royal-scarred branches, the trees stood perfectly still, listening. Somewhere between the roots and the rot, the old fae whispered. They had come from home on a dare and a dream. 4 young elves, Aniel, Lissari, Korith, and Namaris, all just past their first century, restless, brilliant, and untested. They walked the third age with eyes bright from stories but feet soft from peace. The world had changed, yes, but the elves remembered. They remembered the first age and what it cost. They remembered the days of blood, and the moment their kin vanished to ride out the long shadow of the second age in the deeper folds of time and sanctuary. They had returned only when the world cracked open to magic once more. But some parts of the old homeland still ached like a wound, and the dark forest, once a sanctuary of the lunar courts, had become a scarred, silent wound. They had come to see it, to learn it, to prove something, and to find what Namaris called the Thorned Gate, a moonwell lost to myth, sealed before the fall. Aniel thought they might find power. Korith hoped for ancient weaponry. Lissari wanted proof of the Drow's return. And Namaris? Namaris just wanted to be believed. By midday the sky was gone. What little sun reached the upper canopy faded to nothing, and the undergrowth turned from green to gray to black. Moss pulsed with faint bioluminescence, and strange bird-like shapes flitted between the limbs, never landing. Worse, the animals were too still, not cautious, watching. Korith found the first carcass near a streambed, a boar, warped and swollen, its ribs fused with bark and glassy eyes full of static light. "Royal touched," he murmured. The smell was sweet, like spoiled berries and bone dust. Lissari poked at the thing with a stick and watched it burst into pale, flickering moths. They made camp in a hollow of ash trees, though Aniel refused to let them light a fire. "They see the light," she said, "and the dark fae don't like competition." She said it like a joke, but no one laughed. That night the whispers came, not in words, not exactly, but in impressions, shifting memories. Namaris saw his father, mouth full of bark. Korith dreamed of drowning in moss. Lissari woke with dirt under her fingernails and scratches she hadn't made. Aniel didn't sleep. She sat upright all night, her dagger across her lap, and watched the dark like it owed her something. In the morning, they found her boots filled with spider silk. Inside one, a single black petal curled like a question. They pressed on, not because they were careless, but because Lissari vanished without sound. One moment she walked ahead, slashing a path with her hooked blade. The next, only the blade remained, buried to the hilt in a hollow stump that bled clear sap. Her footprints ended mid-step. There was no struggle, no sound. Aniel stared for a long time. Her voice, when it came, was a hoarse whisper. "This is the forest's answer. We were not invited." "We can't just move on," Korith protested. "We need to search. She might be." "She's not," said Namaris. "You know she's not." They searched anyway. Hours, circles, prayers. Korith shouted her name until his throat cracked. The forest never gave her back. When they finally turned from the hollow, Aniel lingered a moment longer. She bent down and pulled the dagger from the sapwood with shaking fingers. "I'll carry it," she said. She wouldn't want it left behind. By the 4th day it was clear they were being watched. Korith found tracks, too small, too light. Feet that pointed backward, spirals in the lichen. Faint laughter behind the eyes. "The fae are restless," he muttered. "The royal didn't make them monsters. It made them awake." And then they found it. The Thorned Gate was not a gate, but an arch of silver-barked brambles, petrified in tension, humming with old moonlight. The air beneath it was thin and cold. Moss grew upward from the stones. In the hollow below, something rested, elven in shape, but not like them. Taller. Stranger, skin like pale stone veined with silver, hair like drifting ash. It did not breathe, but it pressed into the space as if its memory alone were heavier than air. Aniel whispered, "A Moonbound. One of the old blood, a guardian, maybe." Korith stepped back. "Then this is why the Drow never—" He caught himself. The word returned, soured on his tongue. "They weren't kept out," Namaris said slowly. "They were cast out, banished. They weren't supposed to return." And then he turned, and saw the spiders. They weren't monsters, they were people, Drow. Their skin shimmered with silk sheen. Their armor was webbed with silver thread. Their eyes were ancient and wide and hungry. And they had come home. One of them stepped forward, a woman with a stitched mouth and a chain of bone spirals across her chest. A priestess of Vaezoril, if the markings meant what the lorekeepers feared. She reached for the gate. The Moonbound stirred. Korith raised his bow. Aniel stepped in front of him. "Don't." "They're spies," he hissed. "This is infiltration. We have to go back. We have to tell the Conclave. We're not going back." And the air grew colder. The dark fae emerged, not from the trees, but from the memories of the trees. Shapes like antlered shadows, moth-eyed wolves, and broken-limbed jester beasts. They circled the grove with childlike glee. "We're not supposed to be here," Namaris breathed. "We're not supposed to know." And then the Moonbound opened its eyes. Only one of them made it back to Holme.